So this time we want to put it all together. We want to combine a couple of these different operations that we've been doing. All this multiplying and distributing and all that good stuff, adding, subtracting. We want to pull it all together. And what we want to do is we want to put it in that standard form as well. So we want to put it in a decreasing order of exponents, where the x squared or x cubed term goes first and we decrease the exponents. So when I look at this, the first thing I notice is that on the left side of the subtraction, I have a distributive property going on. So if I distribute that, I'm going to get 3x squared plus 9x. So far, so good. Now on the right side, I see something pretty interesting. Remember we did that squaring the binomial? Hey, if you're still stuck on it, that's okay. You go off to the side and you do x plus 2 times x plus 2. What I remember is that you can square the first term and then multiply 2 times the first term and the last term, and then square the last term. So either way, when I do that, I'm going to get x squared plus 4x plus 4. Now, I got to be careful, though, because I'm subtracting x squared plus 4x plus 4. And notice the order of operations here. The order of operations were to first apply the exponent. So that gave me that value there. And then I'm going to do my subtraction. That's going to come next. So square it, then subtract it. Please don't think about like distributing the negative here. That squared exponent, that exponent of 2 really kind of drives the bus in that. That takes the control. That's the one you got to do first. So now let's distribute that negative sign through our polynomial. And we'll get a negative x squared, a negative 4x, and a negative 4. And we're going to combine that with a 3x squared plus 9x. And now we just group together those like terms. I have a 3x squared and a negative x squared, and that's going to bring me down to a 2x squared. I also have a positive 9x and a negative 4x, and that's going to give me a positive 5x. And then finally, we're going to bring down that negative 4, and that is my final answer. Now, let's do one more of these. So now if I take a look at what's going on again, I'm thinking order of operations. I'm multiplying 1/2 x squared times a difference of 2 terms. So I need to find that difference of 2 terms first. I'm going to first need to do that part there. So that's a subtraction part. That's going to be subtracting polynomials. So like I did before, I want to make sure that I distribute that negative sign. So in brackets now, let's see, I get 1/2 x squared multiplied by, I'm going to take away my parentheses by distributing the negative. So I get a negative 5x squared. I get a negative 4x, and I get a positive 5. So that's what I'm multiplying by. Hey, just a little side note, if you're concerned about the square brackets and what operations they mean, that's just another grouping symbol. I'm just using that so that I can differentiate between the parentheses. So the square brackets help me with the multiplication. That's all it is. Now let's combine some like terms. Here's my 1/2 x squared. I'm going to multiply that by, let's see, if I combine my like terms, I get a negative 4x squared. If I then combine those two terms, a negative 6x and a negative 4x, give me a negative 10x. And if I combine my positive 3 and my positive 5, I get a positive 8 with a lot of color. How about that? So now I got to multiply by 1/2 x squared. So remember, when you multiply by 1/2, you're taking half the number. So if I multiply 1/2 times negative 4, I'm going to get negative 2. Now, multiplying the x squared times the x squared, adding exponents, x to the 4th. Then let's do 1/2 times negative 10. So half of negative 10 is a negative 5. And again, I have 2 x's multiplied by 1, so I get x to the 3rd, adding exponents. Then if I take half of 8, I get a positive 4 x squared. So that is the solution when I combine those terms together. So you just got to make sure you follow the order of operations and take it one step at a time.